Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Swift Suplex Society. Fuck! Today's February 11th, 2026, and the episode of Dynamite just ended, and I have a gremlin staring at me. We opened up the night with Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega having a war of words that eventually broke down into a fight, as we all knew that it would. Bye, I love you. Turned into a massive fight. Sorry, I'm having a moment. It's very late, and I'm so tired right now. It was just two big guys saying, I'm going to get the win, and I'm going to become the champion. No, I'm going to get the win, and I'm going to become the champion. We're all going to be champions. Lies. Good stuff, though. No security, no jobbers in security shirts, no referee corps. They just let him do it, and it eventually ended up with Swerve hitting Omega in the head with something as he was going for a one-winged angel off the stage, and then Swerve speared Omega off the stage into some tables, and gaff tape flew everywhere, and it was a party. So, good stuff. Congratulations. Let's move to number 2. Fletcher came on backstage promo. I'm going to be the champion and go home the champion. He told Don Callis to have the night off and stay at the commentator's desk. And that's exactly what happened. And we'll get there. The first actual match of the night was Jon Moxley and Pac and Claudio Castagnoli versus Mark Davis, Josh Alexander, and Takeshita. And that was just a lot of big men slapping man meat, except for whatever reason Pac decided to try and go up against Davis, which was a bad idea. And then it just kind of turned into the Mark and Claudio show because those two seem to be in the ring more often than anybody else, just slapping the tar out of each other. And it was very good. It was good stuff. It was good, big, good stuff. Men meat slaps, slapping man meat. Mox, Pac, and Claudio ended up with the win. Then we got to the part of the night that I liked the least and the most at the exact same time. It was Fletcher versus Ciampa, and that match was too good for Wednesday night television. It was so good. It was so much back and forth, multiple finishers, multiple kickouts of finishers, but then goddamn Fletcher actually got the title. I don't understand what happened. I don't know why it happened. Ciampa should have been the champion for the next 8 months minimum. So we'll see what happens there. I don't even know what more to say about it. But Fletcher's going home with the title, and it's going to be fascinating seeing how Ciampa reacts. I'm kind of hoping that he actually slips into his psycho killer routine a little bit deeper, because he has not looked like a psycho killer. He's looked like a very good professional wrestler, but nothing too psycho has come about yet. So, here's hoping. After Fletcher won the TNT title, he was like, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. I'm going to keep the open challenge going. I don't care who's coming after me. But match number 1 is going to be in Australia on Saturday. Anybody, any takers, let's go. And then Mark Briscoe came out and was like, yeah, boy, you're good. You've gotten a lot better, but you're still a boy, and I'm going to whoop your ass. And Fletcher was like, I want match 7 between us to be the end of it. I want this to be the end, the last chapter. So if you want to climb the ranks and be as good as me, why don't you climb something for real? And therefore, the TNT title this Saturday in Australia is going to be up for grabs in a ladder match between Fletcher and Briscoe, and I'm so excited for that, because that means no disqualification, which means there's a good chance that Ciampa will come out and do something so that Briscoe gets the title back, just to stick it to Fletcher, and I think that would be so funny. So I hope that's what happens. I really, truly do. After that, we had a tag team match between Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong versus Garcia and Connors. I don't know what this whole thing with Connors is right now. If they're going to bring Connors in, leave him with his tag team partner. But I haven't seen him in a couple weeks either, so I don't know what they're doing. He's not... Connors isn't part of the Death Riders. He's kind of a hired gun, but he was with Garcia, which is such a weird little combination because, I mean, they weren't going to win. They should have won. They absolutely should have, because near the end of the match, I would say 3 or 4 minutes before the end of the match, Strong was on the apron and was reaching for the tag from Cassidy. Cassidy did a whole thing and did a kip up with his hands in his pockets. And then Strong dodged the tag and then walked off. So then it was just Cassidy versus Garcia and Connors. And I don't know what happened there. Cassidy was doing his best. And then Darby Allin came out of frickin' nowhere and abducted Connors and pulled him through the crowd. And then Garcia was like, oh, well, I still have to win this match. And he slid back in the ring and then immediately got trounced and lost the match. And it was fascinating. Everything that happened was fascinating. Whatever happened. After that, Toni Storm came out and she was on the second tier of the arena. She said some words. She made some jokes. She made a lot of innuendos. And then Wheeler Yuta, good Lord, it's late. Wheeler Yuta came out and was like, this is a bunch of crap. Stop talking. I don't want to hear it. And then he said, bring her out. And Shafir brought out Mina Shirakawa, locked in the mother's milk. Still hate the name of that. And he actually cut Mina's hair. I don't think he actually cut Mina's hair. I'm pretty sure he cut an extension that was attached to Mina's hair that was just dyed the same color as Mina's hair. And then they just kind of left her sprawled out on the entry ramp and they dipped. So the official statement for this match is the person who loses the pinfall is the one who will get their head shaved. Wheeler Yuta would be hilarious if he lost all of his hair. Toni Storm, I think, could rock it, and she would run with it, and she would throw wigs on. I don't think it would affect Orange Cassidy too much. I don't think they're going to do it to Shafir. I truly don't. I do not think that they're going to do it to Shafir. So, my guess, honestly, and I'm going to put this out there right now, my guess is that the big hullabaloo, lots of fighting back and forth, and I think Toni Storm is going to pin Wheeler Yuta. I would put money on that. Not a lot of money. I'd put $10 on it. But I think Toni Storm is going to pin Wheeler Yuta, and then they have to shave Wheeler Yuta's head. That is my guess for Saturday. And I'm kind of hoping that comes true. If it does, I'll say I told you so. But moving on from there. So then there were 3 promos in a row. The first one was Andrade thanking Don Callis and saying something in Spanish. And yeah, I know. I live in Arizona. I should know some Spanish. I don't know that much Spanish. I learned all my Spanish from a Taco Bell menu. So he said something. Then Hangman came on. And Hangman does speak Spanish. So Hangman was like, that's not how it's going to go down. And then he said something about in Spanish. So the dueling promos. Followed by Jet Speed doing a little walkie-walk promo down one of the back hallways and saying like, oh, well, you know, Hangman Page is busy with something right now, but that doesn't mean that the two of us can't go for some more gold. So why don't Jet Speed go after a couple of singles titles and see if we can make something happen? That was the whole thing. I'm assuming they're going to. It would make sense with everything they've been doing with Kevin Knight lately, but you know, we'll see what happens. I'm in on it either way. That it's a very fun trio. The Jet Set Rodeo. That's what they went with. That's what they're doing. Then we had a triple threat tag team match. So it was Young Bucks versus Xavier and Reed from the Rascals versus the return of Private Party. Shots. Very good match. Again, I think my favorite match type overall would be a straight triple threat, but this triple threat tag team did pretty well, except that 6 guys. So there was always somebody up and outdoing somebody else who just outdid somebody else. Lots of back and forth. Super spot fest. Young Bucks ended up with the win. Private Party looked great. We actually got to see Reed from the Rascals do some stuff, and that boy did a cutter jumping over the top rope and pulling the cutter into a group of people below. That was fascinating and very fun to watch. It was a great match. Not match of the night. I still think even though Fletcher won the title, Ciampa vs. Fletcher was probably match of the night. It was too good for TV. I don't know why they gave that to us. Moving on. So Young Bucks won. They now get a shot at the tag titles. I believe this Saturday. A 2.5 hour event. Grand Slam Australia. It's going to be great. They've stacked that card so high, and I am so excited for it. So FTR came out afterwards with Big Stoke in his wheelchair, and I'm going to put helpbigstoke.com. Here is the official number of how much money has been raised. I want to keep an eye on that because I still think it's so funny. So that was a whole thing. Then it was, FTR and Young Bucks were lipping off at each other a little bit, and it ended up with the Young Bucks super kicking FTR, rolling out of the ring, threatening to super kick Stoke, then handing him the titles because they had grabbed them, and they were like, yeah, we're going to take these. And then they disappeared back up the ramp and left FTR strewn about with Big Stoke in his massively awesome, fun wheelchair. So I love the goofiness of that wheelchair. So that was that. Then we got a quick, I would say probably 90-second promo package from Ospreay saying like, hey, I am coming back, but will I be the same? I'm not sure. It showed some of his physical therapy stuff. He had the halo on, and he was doing neck exercises, doing some of this with the big old brim around his noggin. He was doing stretches. He's looking fine. He'll be back. He'll be back soon. Not this Saturday soon, but he'll be back soon. Not even this first pay-per-view. I'm going to guess third pay-per-view of the year. He'll make his return because we're probably 90 days out from that. So as long as he's working everything like he's supposed to and not hiding pain like he did when this injury happened, I think we'll have him back very soon, and I'm excited for that. That brought us to the end of the night, which was Statlander versus TEKLA in a strap match for the women's title. And oh boy, howdy, it wasn't match of the night, but it was a very close runner-up because the amount of damage that those two women did to each other when they were connected via a strap was insane. Statlander at one point got yanked by TEKLA into the steel steps, broke her forehead open, ended up with a crimson mask for like half the match. They were trying to hang each other, kind of. They were whipping the hell out of each other. It was a whole lot of stuff. And then the thing that I thought would happen happened. So I'm very happy that it happened. The Sisters of Sin came out and tried to do a little ambush, and that didn't really work. It didn't really work. Stat ended up getting the upper hand because she had the strap in hand and whatever. The thing about it is, the Babes of Wrath are already in Australia. So Statlander had no backup. So as the Sisters of Sin were creating the distraction, TEKLA got the upper hand, attempted to tie Statlander's hands behind her back, and then hit her with a curb stomp. 1, 2, 3, and new. TEKLA is the new women's champion, and I'm so excited for that because now we just have to put the women's tag team titles on the Sisters of Sin, and we need to let that whole group run with it for a decent amount of the year. 2026 is Year of the Heel. I've been saying this, and I mean it. I'm happy that this was a thing. Then they all started to beat up Statlander, and surprise, surprise, the Brawling Birds. That's the official name. It's been said on the air now. The Brawling Birds came running out to help Stat, ran off the Triangle of Madness, and that's how the show ended. Not for nothing, the theme, the entry music for the Brawling Birds, pretty good, man. I'm a fan. I like it. It's good stuff. I vibe to it. So, I don't know how that tag team is going to end up moving forward, but everything, except for Fletcher winning the title, everything worked out very well this week, and I'm so excited that the Triangle of Madness have their first taste of gold in this connection. So please give the tag titles to the Sisters of Sin. Let that stable run ram shot on people. Let this be the year of the heels. I want it. I need it. We all deserve it. So, we will see you guys Saturday. I have to get this online and then go to bed. I got to take my eyeballs out because they are so dry. Have a great week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Be safe. Love yourself. Peace. I have to go to bed. Nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What did you do?
Something really dumb. Don't worry.
Okay, I want to know.
No, you don't. Because it's embarrassing. Nothing.